on side and make a buck or two.
Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals tonight. Brought to you in part by Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, Devil's Cut, Pinnacle Vodka, Coors, 14 Hands Vineyards, Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Boots, National Cowboy Museum, The Range 702, Golden Tiger Liniment, Wrangler, Montana Silversmiths, Resist All Hackers, Pepsi, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time World Champion Bull Rider Donnie Gay, 8-time World Champion Cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Welcome to National Finals tonight. We are so glad to have you here this evening. Round number 9 is in the books, and it's just getting better and better, isn't it? Awesome to be out there this evening. We're glad to have you with us and glad to have you here at Boyd Gaming's world-famous Gold Coast. And I'm going to get these guys out here because they're back there. We've got a lot to talk about. Great guests coming up this evening. Great prizes to give away. So just kind of sit back and relax and enjoy the next hour with us. Let's get these guys out here. First guy, I can see him from the knees down back there. Yep. 8-time world champion bull rider, my buddy. 30 years, Donnie Gay right here. Donnie, welcome.
Good evening, Las Vegas. Yeah. Round 9 in a book.
Wow. And I was just telling him there's a lot to talk about tonight, isn't there, huh? We've got controversy, which is no stranger to us here, so it's going to be good. This next gentleman, I think, is bearing gifts, so you might be ready out there. Also an 8-time world champion, great guy. Joe Beaver is here tonight. Joe, come on out here and say hi to the folks.
We love controversy.
Oh my
Killer
God.
Okay, give me a bucket or a hat. Where are we going?
Gotta go in a hat. Gotta go in a hat. We gotta have, see if he's still on target.
Oh, shit. That's how some
That was
of us
that
loose
first
with tonight. All right, I'm loose this time. Ready?
Close. That's in there. Yes,
In there.
good there. Welcome, Joe.
Joe, me and you can be partners roping.
Yeah, but you wouldn't like it. I'll be hollering at you for something.
Yeah, if there's not controversy, we'll find some, won't we?
Whoa.
Boy, it's stirring up
If you
here
want
tonight.
controversy, just wait till about the 8th, 9th, and 10th round, and here it comes.
It's lit up tonight. Let me tell you, if you'd like to participate tonight, some of you have been here to the show before, but if you have a question that you would like to ask, we are pretty high-tech rednecks here. Up on the screen, you'll see a number coming up there. Some of us are low-tech rednecks, too. Yeah, it's 702-582-5638, 702-LUCK-NFT. If you have a question, already people are sending questions up here. We also want to tell you that if you want to go and see any of the shows that we have done for the last several years, this is our 7th season of National Finals tonight. You can go on YouTube and go in there and put Boyd Gaming Events or Boyd Gaming Rodeo and take a look at the shows that we've had. We've had Hollywood actors this year. We've had world champions. It's just been a great season here. Let's get into things here. We've got a question already, Joe, so let's just do this, and we've been talking about it. Everybody has.
Everybody all week.
Trevor Brazil and Patrick Smith will not be roping together next year.
7 years.
7
That's
years.
a long time to rope together.
Somebody
yeah.
wants to know who they're going to be roping
Who
with.
is Trevor and Patrick going to rope with next year? Trevor will rope with Travis Graves, who I think that's a pretty good mix right there. Patrick Smith went out on a limb. He picked Caleb Driggers. Caleb Driggers is one of the up-and-coming talents, but it's not a Trevor Brazil come big money time. I think he's made a decision that way, thinking he's going to win more first place. Travis Graves is awfully glad to step into the role rope with Trevor Brazil. So we'll see next year at this time if they look smart or they look dumb.
And it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Yeah, it's over.
Tammy Wynette wrote a song about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you's going to sing that song about this, you get all in the middle of that thing then. That's really more to it.
Would you like to sing a few bars as a stand
Let's
by
hear
your
it.
man voice?
We can get the guitar out for you if you want it there.
All righty. It was a great. How many were actually at the rodeo tonight? Were a lot of you out there? I'm loving it. These guys were doing the call live on television. We put together a highlight package for you here, as we always do, of the highlights, the winners in round number 9. Donnie Gay, start us off in the bareback riding.
Bareback riding. Ryan Gray had a horse called Smack Daddy. I mean, a good one, but how many times you ever see a bareback horse turn back and spin like a bull and get spurred like this? He doesn't lean one way. This is outstanding. Most of the time the guys are 65 and they get an option for a re-ride because they can't spur them because it's no fun when they're turning back and spinning. Ryan Gray makes as good a spur ride here on a difficult animal, and I was shocked. The judges got it right on the money. 85 and a half for once.
This week.
85 and a half first play.
Rookie steer wrestler Stan Branco, he's missed the national finals twice. He was 16th. This is just a good run. Big, strong kid. He's had some ankle reissues, tore it up playing volleyball, had to have reconstructive surgery. Now watch the difference. I always talk about taking the head away. As soon as his left foot hits the ground out of the stirrup, he's already got that steer's head brought across his hip. That way when you hook the nose, they go off your hip, they land on their side. 3-5, he gets a victory. The first 3-second run of the week. Here we go, Caleb Driggers. This is what Patrick Smith is looking for. Over the chute and got it on him. Travis Graves, if they get the same look from different partners next year, be the same result. Now look, he's got a swing. All week he's been picking his horse up, kind of coming across high in the air. Today he was flat level. He gets it on that steer so fast, they could have been 3 flat. 3-6 is all it had to be. Go around, win.
All right, well, you know, the Team Rovers did good, Saddle Bronc riders as well. Just when you start to think, well, maybe Cody Wright is starting to cool down, not going to win as much, may not be in the mix, check it out. This guy hasn't lost a step. He's just had some draws. You know, a tough pen of horses to look good on, but
tough.
just cowboy up and spur one. Wrong guys, you know, they get matched up with these horses. You get to overthinking it sometimes, but he had some heck all week long early, hit the ground hard. But make no mistake, Cody Wright's a world champion cowboy,
and
80
champions
points.
rebound.
Excellent job right there.
All right, tie down rope, and we had him on earlier in the week. We talked about a chance to maybe win a championship. It's a big chance now. Shane Hanchy, he's rode this horse since he was 15 years old. Comes across there tonight, reaches, not the best loop in the world. They say you can't be little in rope calves. That's a crock. Shane Hanchy is not very big. He came to my school the first time he's 12 years old. Now watch, 1-2 swings. Calf goes right. He sticks it on him. He gets off. The calf's going to be waiting on him. That horse pulls just enough. Could be a little more. Hanchy makes a big flank. Now right here, his clock goes in and he says, hey, you know what? I can't take a chance letting this calf get up. I'm winning the average. I'm going to put 2 wraps on him. 7-4 later, a lot of mess ups, a lot of bad things happen to the calf rope, and he wins the go around.
Well, you know, I said last night, I don't think Shane Hanchy's going to fade. We get to the barrel racers, and what a tough event this has been this year. And Lisa Lockhart comes in there. Old Dunny is
working. He gets better as the week goes on. He gets better.
He was the only one tonight that, besides that gray horse, that looked like wasn't trying to cut in on the barrel.
Wasn't trying to cheat.
Oh,
here
the
comes
bull riding.
Finally,
bull
J-Dub is back.
You know, so J.W. Harris in the lead. Cody Teel in second. Well, here's what guy jumps. That hasn't done much. He's won a little bit earlier. 87.5 points. Trevor Kastner just makes an excellent bull ride early. These bulls in tonight's performance, they're the ones that you want to draw. They can buck you off if you're in the wrong spot. In the right spot, you can be 87.5, just like Trevor Kastner. Made an excellent bull ride. But he thought he was going to get to take the victory lap
by himself.
Yep. Well, not exactly. I can watch bull rides like this all day long. Then J.W. Harris, he's in the lead. He's number 2 in the average. He's 1 bull back of Cody Teel. Got him going around to the left away from his hand. Lickety split. This little bull, little shyster, just excellent bull ride. When you're under the gun, what you have to do is make the whistle. That makes things special. This 87.5 point ride was, you know, another ride in his mind because he wasn't worried about the pressure. He's worried about
just like Shane Hanchy.
riding.
He needed to do that tonight. They both made a statement. When they make that kind of statement tomorrow night, they know the gold buckle's within their reach to put it away.
They have more control now than you normally have.
That's right.
People say, well, a lot of pressure. Well, no.
No.
You worked all year long to get to that pressure thing because that gold buckle. You just want to be in control of your destiny where you can ride your bull and then you ride him, that has to be good enough. Whether you get the buck or not.
You don't want to have to rely on the other 14 guys
go.
and what you're going to win. In other words, that last day, if I'm relying on my other 10 guys to do this and do that and help me here and help me there, you might as well forget it, because it never comes out that way. But when you're in charge of your destiny on that last day, you can win the world championship.
Worst feeling that you can have is beating yourself.
Can't stand it.
Good job, fellas. In the bull riding tonight, we had a couple of close calls, and so Donnie, it's kind of a short wreck reel, but close call I thought for Shane Proctor. But let's take a look at that, guys. If you'll roll that in the back, both of these are in
Champion of the
bull
world.
riding.
The Bulls can't read your resume. If they could, I might still be riding. Shane Proctor's got a good one. He thinks he can get along with this bull. Well, he's going to drop down in the well, and you're not going to be able to see it real good. But I noticed when he hit the ground, he couldn't get up. I'm thinking, okay, he goes down in the well. Does he step on him? No. But he normally, he's already up and gone, but he's not. And I'm thinking, dang, he's out. Well, guess what? He's got a helmet on, but that's made for hockey, not bulls. He just got a Louisville Slugger right in the ear hole. I'm telling you, you talk about a tough guy. Shane Proctor, tough guy. Most guys would have laid there and had to take a little extended nap. He went ahead and got up because you teach yourself, you just keep moving. Now, Cooper Davis going down on an old Frontier bull, going to hang up, watch the back legs and Cooper's legs. This is where you get a broken leg, dragging. You got to try and get up. That bull was going so fast. The bull was actually trying to get away. He's not a mean bull, just he hasn't had a qualified ride on him in 3.5 years. And
Whose bull is that again?
That'd be a Frontier.
That'd be a Frontier rodeo bull.
Yeah.
Donnie a little partial to them.
Jerry Nelson kind of proud of that. Although I hate doing that to our Texas bull riders, but you know what? He drew him, so that's part of it.
Should have rode him.
And Donnie, the bullfighters have been outstanding during this. They're all three going to be here tomorrow night with us, but they have
you get
just
to meet
been
the rookies along with the
Dusty.
bullfighter of the year, Dusty Tuckness, tomorrow night. Yeah.
We're going to do this, and I didn't put it in the rec reel, but you all saw what happened in the tie-down roping with Cody Teel. And Joe came in tonight, and he
I
was
could have roped
ready
that calf without a horse.
There's been 2 times. I guarantee Cody Teel wishes he'd rather been roping you or a horse than that calf.
So let's take a
All right,
look
let's
at
watch
it.
it. This is the 3rd run on the calves, people. This is not supposed to happen. Watch the gate open, and this calf just trots out. I mean, honestly, trots. Cody can't believe it. He breaks the barrier. Now he's on top of him. When you bump a calf with a horse, they're supposed to run away from you. Now, watch his calf. I'm not sure the barrier rope would have pulled if Cody wouldn't have broke it. All right, Pearl bumps into him. Cody's on top. He ropes him, missed him with his first loop. I gave a world championship up one year like this too. My calf went to left. The only thing Cody did smarter than I did, you can't rope a calf with your second loop with the first rope still on. So when he ropes his calf around top of the head, he has to stop his horse, let the rope come off.
I saw that.
Get your second loop, and then rope him. But this isn't normal. This is a 3rd run on this calf. I mean, the 3rd run, the 2nd run we watched tape on him, he was slow off to the right, but nothing like that. Cody Teel would rather have Secretariat than a slow one. He hates slow calves. When they drew this calf tonight, we talked about it, had a game plan. But to be truthful, there's no game plan for one that slow in the 9th round.
Well, he doesn't run, and especially what y'all have talked about all week long is getting that rope on him really fast. Yep. And the only way you do that is when that calf's breaking out of there, you're throwing it while you get in separation. You talk about that every single run on winning runs.
Right. And I mean, he was just melted in the alleyway when we got done. He said, what the, I said, man, I'll be honest with you. That's the biggest surprise I've ever seen because I've never seen them just give it up.
The judges are supposed to go through the cattle and pick out the ones that are sick. I mean,
if they're sick or weak or whatever, that's what extras are for. And I'm not laying it off on the judges, but I'm telling them that that's their job. And if you go through a herd of calves, and y'all watch the rest of the calves tonight, big, strong calves, run hard. There wasn't any, noodles on them. And you don't see that little black, white face panda bear standing in the corner.
That can't hardly breathe, that's walking like this.
That calf reminded me of me the other night when I didn't show up here. That's how I felt. I mean, I felt like just run over me because I'm not getting the hell out of the way. That's how, so It's a bad deal because I've been out of the game since '06. But I know when I was rodeoing, my world championship bonuses were worth upwards of $70,000 back then. So you got to remember, not just a gold buckle or what he was going to win. That probably cost Cody Ola $100,000 in world championship bonuses. So that's why I say, man, it's a bad deal.
It reminds me a lot of what I see in politics. You know, when somebody messes up and they're trying to find out who's going to be accountable. You know, so the judges are the ones that inspect the calves and everything, but then they bring in a veterinarian, so they're going to drug test the calves.
Yeah, they're drug testing him. I mean, and I promise you,
this is true.
This is true. Tonight. This is a big deal. They're drug testing him because a few years back the same thing was brought up, and they said something about Cody.
It's like Hillary misspoke.
And like Cody going to drug test when I said because of Cody. Cody O would have give 20 cc's of B12 and about that much of elfandrenalin. If he wanted him, he won't go the other way. So if they find anything,
what was that?
It ain't Cody O.
Just that much.
Yeah, a little thing we used to give sometimes.
Never mind.
So
you
Joe,
gave that to your horse. Okay.
That then begs the question, and we had that come through. Why don't you get rerides and everything else?
You know, that's why I say either rerides and reruns in both ends of the arena, or neither at both. So I'm funny about it. I mean, I agree with Donnie on the mark out deal and stuff. But you know, some days you may have one that don't buck, and if you do, that's your day. You know, I don't think anybody should get another chance, or if they're gonna give them chances, that's damn sure a reason for a rerun on the timed event end.
If you're gonna give one, give all. Period.
Yeah, here came a question about the shoot guy, the pusher, is what we were talking about, Joe, and could
no, that's for the gate man, but you're talking about the push man.
Yep, different one.
Yeah, the push man would have had to been Arnold Schwarzenegger to get him.
That's what, yeah.
And honestly, if he pushes him hard as he needs to, that calf goes down. So you know, it's a no-win situation for Cody. It's a no-win situation for the race for the world championship. It's just when it happens to you, it happens to you, and you know that's why they play the game.
Yep, exactly right. Let's move ahead here and get our first guest out here tonight. Both the guests that we have tonight, I'm just thrilled that they came. Nobody's
Hey, and coming to a show that
Yes.
you're tired, you want to go back to the room, prop up, and you're this is the 9th go round. None of these contestants have had a free day.
No.
The whole time.
And both of these have a lot to do out there tomorrow. They both have a lot to win tomorrow. It ain't like these two have had a bad week.
This is a quality young man. I was just visiting with him again back there. Make him feel welcome, will you? Cody Teel is here this evening. Cody,
reigning
world
champion bull rider Cody Teel. And he is my friend because
Come on, babe.
his body language looks pretty good right now. You should have seen him about 5 minutes after he got off his 9th bull at the NFR in the locker room. He was moving way slower than a 21-year-old that I think would be. He's really, really sore.
But he's here, and and we were just talking back there, Cody, the difference between coming here last year and the difference coming this year mentally and you being more prepared. Just talk about that.
Absolutely, but first off, I'd like to say it's always an honor to have the opportunity to come on stage with these three men right here, so I don't ever hesitate when I get the chance. But yeah, it's totally different for me this year. Last year, coming into it, I said it the other night, you got to come in. You're kind of coming in with the mindset like, oh, it's just another rodeo. We're just going to treat it just like that. But it's definitely not, you know, and I found that out quick last year. And it's just one of them deals where you have to go through it, experience it, to get a feel for it, to better prepare yourself. And, you know, this year it's been a lot smoother. I'm way more comfortable in this type of atmosphere. And the situation I'm in now, I'm just handling it mentally and physically way better.
Let me ask you, last year when you won the world title, did you win the average, or where did you wind up placing in the average?
I think I was like 4th or 5th in the average. By my standards, I had a horrible finals, but it was just enough to win the world title. And you know, that was a big goal for me coming in this year, being how, to me, I didn't have a good finals. I wanted to come out here and try to win the average. And I'm set up in a great position to do it now, and I'm just going to try to follow through and with my main plan coming out here.
What I want him to do, Donnie, before we do anything else, his parents are here tonight, and I
was going to say that I saw Robbie sitting over there.
Introduce your parents, sir.
Yep.
You guys stand. Y'all stand up that are over here.
Yeah, y'all gotta be proud of this one. This is a good one right
It's
here.
my mom and dad, Robbie and Cami Teel, sister Haley, and friend Kaki.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. This guy he didn't ride and act like a rookie last year when he was a rookie. And his attitude, just the whole body language, and being nice, taking time for everybody, signing autographs, all of that sort of thing that goes along with, especially when you're winning. It's really difficult, and you're handling it so good. I attribute that not to so much just bragging on you. I attribute that to those people sitting right over there. They've raised him properly, and it's a lot like Pete and I. When we were making our first NFRs, you know, our parents rodeoed, obviously, and when you grow up in this environment, you might not be rich, but you know the difference between right and wrong, and you learn how to expound on that all year long. And I just think you're just doing a great job, and you're one of the few young guys that doesn't ever beat yourself. To me, I said it earlier, that's the worst thing a guy can do, is try to, you know, take that hero shot or whatever it is that you don't practice, that you're not comfortable with. You do what you do as best you can. Then the judges are going to give the money away, so just watching you tonight, we're going to watch your ride. You were off of your bull rope. That bull kind of scooted and didn't really kick and slid you back about 4 inches. That's one of the reasons why your score wasn't as high as most of the people in the grandstands thought it ought to be, because the judges, you know, one of them a world champion bull rider, they can see that, and so they have to be real critical because they know there's going to be, most of the time a lot of good rides. So, but when that bull was spinning into your hand and you're off of your bull rope, for you not to get wrung out and just be hung up to try to ride him, but to ride him upright like you did, I know that you were straining your butt off.
Yeah, when you made a
let's
comment.
Let's roll his ride and
Let's do
just
the one
let
from
him just
tonight,
talk.
Mark, if you've got that one queued up. Let's see which one this
Yeah,
is. For
Donnie,
That's not tonight.
This is round 7.
This is the one when he couldn't come to the show. He had to go get his buckle.
Slim chance.
Yeah.
That was a great bull ride, but great bull rides come in circumstances. He's a bull ahead tonight of J.W., Shane Proctor, Tyler Smith. He's a bull ahead of him in the average. So tonight, all he's got to do is make the whistle, and that is the toughest thing to do in any of the rough stock events. When all you got to do is stay on, if you don't really ride your normal way and ride to win and ride to thrill yourself, you're usually going to fall off. And this bull gave you a great opportunity.
Let's take a look at tonight's here. And
roll this bull that's going to go to the right, this little black bull.
Yeah, Donnie had made a comment back in the locker room after it was all over, probably how I felt, and he wasn't lying. I probably can't say it up here, but
I will.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all what I said. I said they couldn't have drove a straight pin up his butt with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
He was straining his guts out. I'm telling. I mean, he looks fine, doesn't he? I mean, he's setting up. He's in position. That's a real good bull ride at most rodeos. We're at the National Finals Rodeo. This is the best one that there is, and there's a world title on the line, and you got to make the whistle, or you get back even with the 3-time world champion. Don't buck off, and he doesn't. I just love that. I say it almost every time. All he does is make 8.
You talk about it there, Cody.
Yeah, it was kind of a smaller bull out there, started good, and as you can see, he was just steadily moving out there the whole time and just trying to get away from me, pretty small. And I was having a hard time keeping him gathered up toward the end there. My feet were steadily moving, just bicycling the whole time, trying to stick with him, and it kind of ended just having to grit it out, kind of like last night.
We're going to have to go get, I mean, you got to win enough money to be able to hire some kind of guy that's a designer bull rider helmet guy. I mean, that Hannibal Lecter helmet you got on, it just wears me out.
That thing bothers Donnie. It scares him. I think he has
It's scary.
We talked about it earlier in the week. He broke his jaw. It's just go over your injuries again there, Cody.
Yeah, it's been a year full of injuries for me. Pretty much back in March, I got pulled on a bull's head and pretty much shattered my elbow, dislocated. Had 10 screws, 2 plates put in it. Sailed out for a while with that, then come back.
That was in March.
That was in March, yes,
Okay.
sir. And about 2 weeks into coming back from that, was starting to kind of get the feel for things again, then get pulled down again, and broke my jaw and cracked my chin. They had to put a plate in my chin, and I probably just was out a week just to do surgery. Then I started riding with it wired shut, so it was in my best interest to wear a little more protection while it was wired shut, so I chose to go with that helmet.
Plus, carry those wire. Who was your buddy that got the wire cutters? In case you were to get whammoed upside the head and need that instead of swallowing your tongue, you got to have somebody cut you loose there. How's that feel? And who'd you give the pliers to?
Luckily, the rodeos, most of the rodeos I went to had the sports medicine guys there, and they knew what I was doing, so they had to come and ask me for them because I'd forget, and I'd hand them the little clippers the doctor gave me, and it's a kind of eerie feeling when you're giving them that. You got to put it in the back of your mind, hoping you don't have to use the things, and they're still in my rigging bag right now. I still got them in there from it.
Cody, I want to do this, and Donnie, we've never done this before, but I want your mother to come up here just a second with me. Come here just for a second, because when he's talking about that,
we don't have a script, y'all.
No, we had one, but we lost it. Come on up here. I'm Dan. It's nice to meet you. Cammie, what I'd like you to do, there's a microphone for you. Cammie, I just, as a mother sitting there watching your son, and you've seen him get hurt and all, but just tell us emotionally as you watch him, because I was talking to him earlier, he said, my mom's more excited than I am here. She gets more excited when I win, so just tell us your feelings watching him ride.
Well, you're just hoping that he takes advantage of the bull that he has, and you're just hoping that he rides to the best of his ability, because he's harder on himself than anybody else could possibly be, even Donnie. So you're just up there and you're pulling for him. And of course, worrying about injury, it's there. It's always going to be there, especially in this sport. But if you dwell on that, you just have to put it in the Lord's hands, let him take care of it.
Is there a ritual that you go through before? We always talk about superstitions. And
how do you rosin your ropes?
Yeah,
try to ask.
But is there an emotional or mental ritual that you go through each time?
Not really. I just have to remind myself to breathe.
Yes.
And watch. And on that bull last night, was it last night when he was hanging off the side and he went and let go? Yeah, I was watching with one eye, and I finally closed because I thought he had bucked off. I didn't want to tell anybody, and I had to ask Khaki. She was sitting next to me. I said, "Did he make it? Did he make it?" And she's like, "Well, of course he made it." So it's all, but no rituals.
Okay, it's an honor to have you here and
Thank you very
everybody's
much.
supporting but we've never asked that question before, and I wanted to ask him. He's a good-looking kid, can't you? Huh? Thank you, Cammie, for coming up. Thank you very much.
Yes, she does good work.
Yep. Awesome.
I got to tell you, because Cody won't. When he broke his jaw, y'all remember reading, if you're not from Texas, I'm sorry, but occasionally there's some bad things happen there. The big explosion in West Texas, it was a real devastating deal. Well, they had a CBR, Tough Hedeman had a CBR bull riding there, raising money for the families and the victims of the firemen that, the first responders that got killed, and they had this big bull riding. Well, at that time, he doesn't even have the X-rays that they took. They didn't show a break in his jaw, and where they needed to put the plate and everything. So he drives to West Texas and gets on. Not only, he doesn't just show up to get on, he wins the bull riding, and I think it paid close to $20,000. And he gave it to the victims of the fire department and then drove home. And then found out his jaw was broken and had it wired shut and put the plate in his chin. Now, that's a bull rider.
That's the goodness of the world champion. Being a young kid, that's why he's handled it so good, Donnie. And you can watch from afar as a young one that wins a world championship. And I won one young, and so did you. It's a different ball game. When they strap that gold buckle on you, it's like you want to say the finals is another rodeo. You want to say that's just another buckle, but it's not.
And I can tell you,
this kid's handled it good.
Robbie Teel breathed a sigh of relief because when his kid got that gold buckle, he was praying a lot anyway, but he doubled it up because he didn't want his kid to act like Joe and me when we won our first gold buckles. And he didn't.
Just real quick, Cody, do you feel the responsibility of that, of being, Walt Woodard was here last night. We were talking about what a gracious champion he's been over the years. Do you feel that responsibility now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, I feel the same as a person, even with wearing this buckle, but at the same time, you have a lot more obligations and responsibilities that you have to do that come with it. But it's good things, you know, it's a business like we were talking back there. You have to do a lot more during the day, make a lot more appearances, but to me, it's just all part of it, and then you just get a different kind of mindset when you have to do more stuff. You know, it's a good position to be in, but it takes some adjusting to get in the right mindset. But it's it's been great, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
We will always be grateful. Every time we've called, every time we've asked, he's come out, and I appreciate it a lot. World champion.
Let's let him off duty. Give him a round of applause.
Cody Teel.
I can watch them good bull rides all day long.
Yep. And Joe, you know, we talked about it the other night. Sometimes we call, and sometimes people don't come when we call, and sometimes they say they'll come and they don't come.
That's why it's so important at the end for them to come. You know.
We've got this question that came in. What happens, Joe, if they find somebody Dove did give?
I don't know if we got enough time to answer this, but go on with it.
I don't honestly know, with it only being 24 hours till the last round, if they can run the blood and get a determination if there is something.
I don't know anybody that would know anything about how long it takes to get a
I
drug test process.
I know quite a bit about how long it takes on drug tests on horses, people, and cattle. You know, I wasn't always the gracious champion, Cody Teel, and the only reason you don't is because it wasn't around when you was there. Hell, when you won your first one, they didn't even know. It was moonshine's all they had.
I thought when they started talking about grass, I thought they was wanting me to mow it.
Yeah. You didn't have near as much fun your first trip to California as I did. Trust me.
Nobody remembers his.
I remember mine. It's all over the papers out there. You know.
That's a good question.
What's going to happen if they drug test him? I honestly
like I said, we don't
know.
have a script.
Yeah.
I'm curious. JP, one of the head of the directors that texted me a while ago about that. They are headed out there. They're drawing blood and they're going to go test it now. Drawing a Coggins on a horse, you know, you can get a 12-hour, 24-hour deal if there's that facility close. I don't know if Las Vegas has that or not. If they do, we'll know.
They got everything.
You would think. Now, here's the other part of it, okay? If they do, and some miracle comes up with somebody aced him, which are, you know, I just don't see it. But let's say they did. Then what do? You go back to the Bob Tallman cameras and we can see if anybody was out there in the pens. And if you don't find anybody, then do you give him another one because he sure didn't do it himself?
Absolutely.
You have to, you know. So it's gonna be interesting. There's no way.
And if they did, and I was Shane Hansey, I'd think, well, that's BS, you know. But of course, as nice as that's the way I would feel. If I were Shane Hansey, I'd probably be all right with it. He's such a nice guy too.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think
it's not going to happen.
It
but we appreciate the question. Let's get this lady out here. Gosh, we've been trying for 9 days.
Yeah, and she tells me tonight, she said, well, can you get somebody else? I say, yes. But tomorrow night you're going to be getting a gold buckle, so you need to come tonight. And she did for us.
You talk about class acts. Would you welcome Sherry Cervi, world champ, is here. Yeah.
All right.
You have a lot to do tomorrow night.
I hope so.
I hope so. We're so glad to have you here, Sherry. Last year we didn't get to congratulate you and tell you all those things because we didn't get to see you at the end of the deal. But we are just honored to have you with us tonight and Miss Consistent at this. What I've done, Sherry, just real quickly, I'm going to do this. These are your times, and you already know them. But this is how consistent. She started out, won the first 2 rounds, won the 8th round. But these are all 13, 77, 66, 87, 81, 82, 75, 72, 71. It's incredible, your consistency. And these two talk about it every night, especially, Joe, it's a credit to you as a horse person, as a horseman.
She rides so much better. Yeah, okay, I'm already out there. She rides so much better than everybody else that she takes one horse, and Stingray runs good, and he's an awesome horse, and blah, blah, blah. But I can't go pick somebody out of the stage and put him on him, and he's not going to run 13, 6, or 7 every time. This lady, if you'll watch, you can get a small clinic on riding a barrel horse. I mean, my wife and I talk about it every night, you know. She says, Sherry outrides him. She stays in the middle. She doesn't get pulled in. Taylor Jacobs talked about it the other night, sitting right here. You know, she learned something in the first 2 rounds. After she watched Sherry, she said, I'm leaning, I'm doing this. People, you don't understand how hard the barrel race is to win at consistently. And she's done it how many nights in a row? I hate to even say it.
How about every night?
9 nights in a row. That's
never been done.
unbelievable.
Well,
Christy Peterson did it in, I think, 98 or 97.
I don't know where I was at.
so we'll all be quiet now, Miss Sherry, and you tell us about this week, what it's meaning to you so far.
Oh, it's been a great week. You can never complain about winning money here at Vegas. It's been a really tough bar race, a fast bar race, and so, just the fact that you're getting checks here, I feel really, really good about that.
Taylor was here last night, and she, besides being good, she's smart too. And just watching her adjust and the way that she's doing, it's got to be fun for all of you. It's very, very competitive this year.
Yes, it is very competitive. I knew that coming in here because I felt like this is one of the first years that any of the 15 horses at any time could win a round. And, Taylor's horse has been working outstanding, and it's fun to be involved.
I thought it was interesting. You might get, blow up the instant replay thing or something, but she said that she told Joe that she was watching your run. I don't remember which go around, but she said that horse, that Stingray, was going to run into 2 of the 3 barrels, and she said Sherry just didn't let him, and I thought to myself, that's what I need to be doing.
Well, she's like,
and then,
she was going to the
she
second
clicked
barrel,
off a couple of
and you
go-rounds.
could see it. Like he was going across there, and he looked like he's going to be free. And all of a sudden, when he made his move like that, instead of just panicking, leaning, she just reached down there and off range and gets in about 2
Those
good
hands
hits.
that
Picks
I
his
watch.
cheek up. When he picks that cheek up, stands up straight, turns the barrel, and places. I mean, that comes from riding a million head, though. And we've talked about it. Troubles, Hawk, Tin Man, Dinero, and this horse, right? 5 horses here, people. That's not buying that one good one and making it on that one good one. And when that one good one goes away, bye, Sherry, see ya. She just keeps coming back on them and back on them.
Got a question for you. What the difference is? Does Stingray at this NFR, does it feel any different, or do you feel him being any different from your first time you came to the NFR on him? In other words, does more times back here make them more comfortable, or does it make it more difficult because they want to cheat a little bit more? I mean, talk us through, some of the different scenarios of how you have to continually adjust.
Well, fortunately, she really does better the more runs I make on her. I knew that coming in here, and I had made some runs on her before I got here, and she is definitely a more consistent horse than she was 5 years ago, but, you always hope that you have a horse that can take 10 runs.
She's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really tough. I remember I went up to Northwest to help healer a few years back, and she was pretty green at that point. And I'm telling you, rope on her all day, Sherry track out on her while we were practicing. I mean, they used her. And I thought, well, that must be the backup. That must be a colt. And that night, you give her a bath, put her barrel saddle on, and do the barrel race at the pro rodeos up there in the Northwest. And I thought right then, I said, boy, if she ever makes it, she's going to be so consistent because she's so tough. And now look at her.
She is tough, and that's one thing that I try to do with all my horses is give them a job, and where barrel racing is just another job, and you can rope on her and go chase cattle out or do whatever you want.
Sounds like a little bit of that Mel Potter stuff. And I haven't seen him here. Is he doing okay, and I'm sure he's perched around here somewhere.
He is, yes. He's here. He's, I think, enjoying himself.
He's my favorite timed event guy. The only guy that wasn't really ugly to me on the board was her daddy. Mel Potter was just this guy is. I mean, he's just a
class
wonder.
act.
He's a class act.
If you don't get a chance to,
yeah.
if you ever meet him, you need to go up and talk to him.
I respect him as much as I do my own father, and so I know how you were raised. But that giving your horse the job and stuff, does he rope on him, or on her?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But he's always like, you got to quit treating her like she's done something right, or okay.
Let's take a look at you at work. Let's start off with last night. This was round 8 when she won the round. This is a 13:71 run here. And Sherry, talk about you and your horse here.
I knew I was at the top of the ground, and you want to take advantage of being at the top of the ground here. And she worked really good. I honestly didn't think that I was going to win the round because it has been so fast. And I knew I had a good run, but I felt like I was going to place, and I was going to be really happy with that. But she worked really good. She's been working really good. I just have to keep riding her. And tonight, the barrel race, I felt like kind of was a lot of people were hitting barrels, and I kept telling myself, my gosh, ride your horse. Do not do something stupid.
But just go back and watch your hands. I mean, you just don't lean. You keep your posture the same as you're coming in, as all the way through as you're going out, and moving. Watch your hands. Hold him out. Give a little check there and back around. Now, a little saddle horn action right there in the left hand. Got him down.
What people don't understand, you can't just run in there and just hold one out. Because if you go to your left-hand turn, watch when she turns first, she's going the second. Okay, maybe she might feel him step in a little bit or catch you. If you just hold them out and then drop, they're just going to crash the barrel and run over it. You got to know when to get them and when to square back up and pick up, and that's what she does right there. See how she picks him up the right rein, then she squares up, butt cheeks square, gets a hold to the saddle horn, pushes him right around it, no way to hit that
I was
barrel.
watching her hands.
Well, then you don't see very good because she got a whole lot more than her hands going for her.
We're gonna cue up the run from tonight, Sherry. And
watch this.
You alluded to it, Sherry. It's like when somebody starts bucking off, they all buck off. The barrel's going over tonight. You were again nice and clean on this run.
I kind of let her step out of the first barrel a little bit, and I was running across there on the wrong side of the second barrel, and I was like, my gosh, we've got to get over now. And she did. She let me. That's the good thing about Stingray is she goes where you put her. And I really, really try to keep her like that, to where if I get in a bind or do something, I need to help her. She lets me. Yeah, like right there, she was gonna. I felt.
Is that
her.
where you were thinking? Oh God!
Look how far I am, and she was gonna come back on and hit the first barrel. I felt like, and so I just kind of moved her out, and she moved with me.
But you do that, and one of the things that keeps you in the money is you don't get on to her enough to take her out of stride. She's pushing forward the whole time. You just kept her off the barrel, and to me, you're the only one that's doing. I mean, the barrels were going end over end tonight. I mean, they weren't just knocking them over. I mean, I'm not sure. Some of them be limping like the bull riders tonight.
Well, you got to remember, this is the 9th run in this little building, and that's hard on most horses. I mean, Stingray's kind of a freak like that. She just takes it. You took her to a couple jackpots before you came out here just to get some runs on her, and that's that deal where everybody else might be petting them and babying them and easing them and swimming them and all that. She had even a couple jackpots, so these 9 runs, 10 runs isn't anything for her.
But I do think, it does. Some horses are getting a little bit short, but I mean, when you're trying to win first every night and stay as close as you can, you're going to hit them, and some of those girls are already out of the average, and so they have nothing to lose.
I will
so I
say,
think it gets where they're a little bit tighter every night. So
the barrel race has been ultra exciting all the way through. I mean, because everybody's gunning.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you who else has been consistent has been Shada Brazil for her first time coming here. Yeah. She has ridden well. I don't think she's knocked over a barrel either. So it's just been a great event to watch. And Sherry, I know how busy you are, and I know that Joe means a lot to you, and that's why you're here tonight.
Well, I just want you to know that I was planning on coming here.
We did. We planned on it
Tuesday
for-
night, and
yeah.
I got a text and says, "Now, if Cody Teel doesn't win the round,
got tape.
we're
And then-
taking Cody."
And then in my defense,
Now he didn't tell me he said that. I'd a whole hell of a lot rather have you up here than Cody.
Wait. But she had already won a go-around the night. We were going to do it first.
Yes.
And then when we planned on it, you know what happens after that? They just go to winning go-arounds, it seems
It's happened in almost every event. Every time we pick somebody to come on and make plans and for us to be able to actually have a game plan, oh no. They win the go-round.
I would much rather win the go-round, not be able to come, though. I ain't going to lie.
Oh, yeah, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
They've never heard me gripe about that.
But we really appreciate you
Yes.
coming. I know how busy you are, but I know how people like to hear about it and see you and appreciate you as Stingrays.
You go by
so-
too fast in the
Yeah, bye.
arena.
Sherry Cervi.
Thank you.
Give your daddy a hug. Classy lady right there, folks.
Oh man. Yeah. Speaking of class, let's get these two guys out here, shall we, huh?
Times two.
Just to
Class time.
They're both here.
Oh, they're both here.
Yeah,
and
wait a
ninth
minute,
go
wait a
round.
minute. This is stat night. Are you crazy?
I'm sitting here going,
know,
oh my
oh,
gosh,
here you
I
go.
flunked, man.
Donnie,
plenty to talk about. Let's
you
get
might
them
as well
out
turn
here.
Donnie's mic off now, Dan.
Bob Tallman, Boyd, Paul Hamus are here. Get them out here, if you will, please. Let's talk rodeo, shall we? I've got one of your mics out here, fellas. Yeah, Bob's got his. Okay. Thank you for being here. Boyd's back there with Sherry right now, I can tell.
Tell you what, first time I saw Bob this week at like December 2nd at the Gold Buckle Gala, he put his cane over in the corner and he, was working and everything, and it's getting closer to Saturday night. Look at him, he's just bopping out here. Thought he was going to break into a break dance.
What's up? Do you not get the memo? It's Black Friday, dude. Look at you. Jeepers.
Hey, it's pumpkin. It's pumpkin.
It's your turn in the barrel now, buddy.
He's tough enough to wear pumpkin.
Donnie thinks that's
Big
pink.
bird.
So he's getting a text already. Boyd, you just got here, so you missed.
No, I've been here for 10 minutes just begging. I tried to get him to talk to you in your IFB going, I am Sherry's favorite rodeo announcer. Okay? And I really want to. And then when she starts hugging up on Joe and said she's going to be on the show because her relationship with Joe, that's what I had her spun around about back there. Pump the brake there, Scooter. Anyway.
And he was speeching her.
I was speech. I had her jacket hid to where she could. Last year, I put it in the refrigerator we had back there when she was on the show last year. This year, there was no refrigerator, so I just hid it behind the door. Cutbacks, yo. We don't have refrigerator no more.
So since she just left here, Boyd, let's talk about tomorrow night in the barrel racing.
She's first of all, you guys know just from sitting watching her, and Bobby said this, man. You talk about a movie that would be a life story that everybody would like, and it'd be PG because there'd be no smut in it. She's just as classy a human being as God ever let walk this earth. That girl is classy, okay?
Yep.
And she's earned everything she's gotten in her life. It ticks me off sometimes when people talk about, now her dad is very successful, okay? But our dads are successful. Hers at a different level maybe. But when people say, well, you still got to run, guys.
Oh,
I've seen rich parents buy horses. She makes hers. Yeah, the bloodlines are there, but she makes hers.
Yeah, the bloodlines. For those of you that know anything about AQHA horses, driftwood horses are bred and have two things, heart and bone. Now, when you start them, my son-in-law has a quarter brother to that horse and a half brother to De Niro. And he's 6 years old now, and he's still a colt. And the kind of horses that they breed, I felt very, very blessed to have Mel Potter share that semen with us. When they breed these horses, you just don't saddle them. You better get on Cowboy, because them driftwood horses are hard, tough, and it's there.
She owns a bunch of records. One I think that's impressive that we should talk about is she places tomorrow. She'll be the first barrel racer in 26 years. and only the 6th barrel racer in the history to place in all 10 rounds of the National Finals Rodeo. The last lady to do it was Christy Peterson back in '87. So, and then you got reprimanded on that, did you? All right, but yeah, it's even if she were to have some kind of catastrophe and get one, the worst she's going to drop to is 3rd in the average. Okay, takes her from 48 to 39. She's going to shatter the single season earnings record. She's already at 250. Last year, Mary Walker set it at 273. Wow. She wins 1st in the average. That's 48. So she's not at 288 plus. I'm pretty sure she's going to place in the round. And she's too cerebral not to leave them all standing. She'll leave them all standing.
Yes. Awesome. We're just glad she came out here. We didn't do it in the rec reel, gentlemen, and Bob, you saw, but we talked about it, Boyd. This tie down deal tonight. So now is Cody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's cost him a world title.
You could. Yeah, he's gone.
Yes.
I had a guy tweet to me though and ask me this question: will that calf get tested? They're doing it.
They're testing.
I said
it, yeah.
I don't know was my answer. I said, but the argument is definitely made that it should be tested. This calf ran twice this week. One was a broken barrier with an 8.3.
He didn't run, and he
The
got
security
slower.
camera guy, that's Bob. We're watching the calf pen where the calf is at.
Right now on his phone.
It's calf drug test watch time.
Here's the first run at it, because Joe mentioned
See, this
you
is
have
what he
to.
had to do. He had to stop and
Yes.
let the rope come off. And I mean, remember
For
one year
real.
I did this. I cost myself a gold buckle on a calf that loped off to the left in the left corner, and I did the same thing. I broke the barrier. I roped him around top of the head.
Look at him
Ask you a
right
question.
there.
How sick is he?
Don't step on it.
How sick is he right
I
now?
tell you
Oh,
what,
my
honestly,
gosh, boy.
he was so confused and so just devastated that he wasn't even mad. You know, he just couldn't believe that it could happen this way. And that's, you can see it when he ropes him. I mean, look, he ropes him and he still doesn't take off, you know?
Well, a lot of people couldn't live through it. And you never wish no bad luck on anybody. But if there is a human being of the top 15 in that pen tonight that will live through this, it's Cody Ole, because he's that rigid, he's right, and he's that
Well,
strong
yeah, but
of
he's
a
good.
world champion competitor.
But it might cost him, another world championship. Of course, he'll live through it, just like he would if he didn't win it on a level playing ground. You know, if they give re-rides in the bareback riding or bronc riding, they give Court 4 re-rides last night because the horses were inferior.
Well,
They got extras back there in the back. I don't get it.
I want to say 2 things in this calf roping deal. Joe, and you can correct me or not. And I was in a suite watching it tonight intently for a lot of reasons. The first calf run hard, the 7th calf run hard. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th calves, which did not run hard. But I watched them, and when they flank those calves, they drop them, and they just like a dead rock. For those of you that understand the livestock business and in a sporting contest like this, how we feed them the night before, that particular pen, and when we take them off water in the daytime makes a lot of difference of whether they're going to run hard, be spirited, or they become lethargic. And there was about 4 calves in a row in there. When they roped them, and the guy pushing, everybody wants to point their finger at somebody went wrong, okay? It just happened. But tonight it looked to me like maybe they left him on water 3 or 4 hours too long today. I don't know.
That calf didn't look like he was too full. It looked like he had OD'd on LSD.
And how would you know?
I don't.
Remember-
I've heard stories from Joe.
I want to ask Joe.
If
Joe,
I'd have been on the good stuff,
nobody
you would
knows
have
these cattle here better than you. That's why everybody who listens to you on television, that's the first thing they come back to me with. What we love about Joe is he knows them. What's the story of this calf the first 2 trips?
We went over the tapes tonight, and Cody said, B, come here, you got to watch this one. So I went in there and we watched, and in the first round, the Kev tried a little bit off the right. Second round, Kev gave it up. Kev didn't look to be very healthy in the 6th round when they run him the second time. The barrier picked him up, set him to the right. He let up going to the right, kind of wanted to push. Tonight, all I'm saying is if you go through that herd of calves at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock and you look at them, you know that calf right there does not feel good. That calf needs off. He doesn't fit. He's gant.
I don't think he's
hollow.
I think he's just sick.
I think he's sick. Like I
The
said,
man's in the room, Tony Amaral. is in the room, and nobody goes through any more cattle. He and Robin are here tonight. He's here with us every night watching.
No, judges are the one that take them off.
And he just said 11 o'clock every day, take them all them cattle off the water.
Yeah, no. I ain't saying it was off earlier, none of that. I'm saying needed off because he wasn't fit to compete on.
They should have noticed him in the pen. Is what
the judges go through and look at them, and I'm not picking at judges, but that is their job. And if you look at that herd of calves and you look at that little bitty black baldy in the corner with his ears down, it'd have been like when I was sick the other night if I was up here with y'all, because I'd have been in the corner like that. You could have spotted me pretty easy.
We'd have cut him off.
Yeah, he cut me off. That's what they did. Cut me off.
The thing is, once that calf heals up, gets to feeling better. Remember the calf that Cody won his first world title on, and he took her home? She weighs about 1,600 pounds, that heifer. I've seen the cow. He bred her to bodacious. He bred her to all kinds of things.
We all got ones that we won on.
And that's
we
the
took
deal.
them home.
This one here, folks, if you're here about next Thursday and you get a bad burger, pretty good chance it's that bally calf right there. I don't know if the calf is sick, but it's going to be chewy and spit it out.
But I'm not I haven't been a Cody O fan to root to win the world. I've been pulling for Shane Hanchey. I watched him, miss average. All he had to do is catch one. He misses one. And I've talked to him this year. I watched him. This is a more mature guy. And I told y'all the other night, Shane Hanchey's not going to fade. Who won the go-round tonight?
He's worthy. Look, he's worthy of the gold buckle regardless of what happened with that calf.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, because don't forget what he did tonight.
We just hate to see something like that decide a race. That's all it is.
Exactly. I know. I remember when, and Blair sometimes could be popular or unpopular, but when they flagged him out because he waved his arms walking back to that horse, I said he was winning the average at the time. I said, I don't want that to impair the integrity of the race. Yep. Okay? Find the guts out of him. Find him to the point where he'll never even think about doing it again.
God, I hate agreeing with you.
but that's right. I agree, too.
Yeah. Anyway, the other races, really, there's a lot of them decided.
Boy, talk about the bull ring. Cody Teel was with us here tonight. And
he's just... It's a one-header, but if you're a smart betting man, you got to put the money on J-Dub. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's got a bull on him. But J-Dub does what he did.
But J-Dub has got a bull on the rest of the guys.
Right.
And J-W is winning second in the average. So,
right.
So the separation's probably not going to happen. No. Well, you would have to do all the math, and nobody wants
there's the numbers
none
are
of
too
our guys
big
in the room wants to do any math.
Right. And the numbers are too big in J-W's favor for Cody to make it up just by winning another round and having J-Dub buck off a bull and drop to third.
But what I liked is both of them knew that going in.
Yes.
Cody, he's got a bull on him to win the average. Last year he did. He just said, I didn't ride very good. He said I won fourth or fifth in that. He said I want to win the national finals rodeo, and he's got a bull up on him. So damn good and well he is going to be bearing down tomorrow night on his bull, because if he makes the whistle, he wins the average. Nobody can beat him for the average because he's a bull up. But if JW could actually probably buck off,
drop to third
but only drop to third in
that's
the
31.
average.
The difference is 39,000 or 31,000. So he goes back $8,000.
So and it's been J-Dub's to lose since they got here.
The races that
but it's fun because Cody Teel has not faded in any fashion and kind of put it up there. It makes it go down to Saturday night, and that's what it's supposed to do.
Races undecided are.
This is the cool part of the whole rodeo business. The coolest part about the Wrangler National Finals. It's the coolest part about the 10 round. We have been in all the years that all of us have ever been to the NFR. If you get a race that's so far strung out and gets away from it, now for the fans, those 18,000 plus me sitting on the sidelines, this will make deeper-hearted, strong-souled rodeo fans tomorrow night, because I promise you, the dude is going to tell them the way it is. The what-ifs are over. Now it is what it is. The thing here is that we want to leave this city on Sunday or Monday whenever anybody goes home. We want them to know they watched the greatest 10th round, if it's the only round they went to, and they saw a competition that wasn't just settled except for Trevor in the all-around. And This is what makes rodeo what it is. It's going to sell tickets at Denver, Fort Worth, Houston. Going to sell them at San Dimas, California.
That's the reason that I like the NFR pay it whenever they paid $492, because you could have a lead so big they couldn't win enough money to beat you. Because there's a lot of tough competition.
Yeah, but that's
in the
when Abraham
PRCA.
Lincoln was president. Remember?
I voted for him. He told you.
Boy, steer wrestling.
Undecided.
You said totally. Oh, yeah, it is. The one that, to me, who wins the saddle bronc riding?
Did you see Gorsuch throw that steer down tonight?
They're playing him.
Everybody in the bull rider locker room, I mean, it was almost like we were in the choir. Whenever he airplaned that steer and he lit the middle of his back, everybody went, ooh! I mean, there were 12 guys in there watching, and we're watching the steer wrestling, for God's sake.
Yeah, it was a wrestling match.
Cody Wright or Jake Wright? What's going to happen in the saddle?
Chad Furley.
Is it done?
Jake, they threw a yellow flag on Jake
Tonight, yep.
Okay? So that took him from third
There's
in the
that
average.
mark-out rule again. Derek Clark, he just rolled over again.
Yeah, it took him from third in the average to sixth, and that's hurting him a little to the tune that it'd be about a $5,000 separation between him and Jake Wright. But I think it comes down to Cody and Jake there. Team for the world title, yes. Right now, again, pay it on 9, it'd be Chad's. But again, there's that big one to go tomorrow, another 8 seconds. I know it gives you a headache, but it's like I tell, and I know Flint hates it too, and we talked a little bit about it, but I just can't sit there and know $180,000 is going to get divvied up among 8 people after it's done on Saturday night, and as the guy whose job it is to paint the picture for how this race is unfolding, who's got to ride a certain way, I think I got to look at that, even though I know it means nothing. You can take the calf roping tonight. Cody O went from 6th, which is $12,000, to 9th, which is nothing. Okay, and that's a big $12,000 for Cody in a race that was going to be decided by $3,000. The other one is the team roping, guys. I'm telling you, nothing changed tonight. Nothing, because all of the guys that were in a position to win the world, basically none of them placed and none of them flipped average spots. So it's down to a one-header. It's Clay and Jade. It's Colin and Luke, and it's the Minor brothers. And
the Minor brothers have been a real. I mean, like to me, because if you're not just watching all the team roping all the way through, they started good, and man, they have not faded. I mean, they've been here before, and they've done all right.
Doesn't Luke Brown them go first tomorrow? If they go first, they can dictate what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If they catch and they win the average and just cinch it up, but if those guys want a chance for a gold buckle, they
Caleb and Travis could be a spoiler.
That's what I'm
here
saying.
too,
Depending on what.
I mean,
Luke
how
and
would
them
you
do.
like to not even be thinking about winning a world title? You're so far back, in the standings, you're waiting on the NFR and everything, and then all of a sudden, what you have a chance. If you're 3-9, 4 flat, 4-1, you're the first gunners out of the box, and you got a chance to win the world. I'm letting it fly. Are you?
Yeah, buddy. What you just did in starting that story was where I was wanting to go with the fact that there's more to it than the first 2 or 3 or 4 guys, because it's a pace setter in the riding events as well. Because if the first guy out is maybe 6th in the average and needs that to excel to get up in there, he now becomes a spoiler. So he is going to take a chunk of that money by, an 80-point ride, 82-point ride. That means that the guys thought they might have cruised a little bit have got to hoe it out of one. In the bull riding, it means they've got to ride for 8 seconds. First 2 or 3, it's a big deal. And the way Boyd and I would sell it, we base our energy on how that's going to go, even though we have a game plan of where we think it's going to go.
The only other thing, too, is it's kind of better to be Jake Wright than Chad Furley, because Chad's sitting 3rd, and if he's going to get to move up, then he needs one of those 2 guys in front of him in the aggregate to mess up. Okay, Jake's sitting 6th, so he's got 5 more opportunities for somebody in front of him to stub their toe to do something that can let him move up a spot. So the sad thing about being in the bottom part of the average payout is the small amount of money. The good thing is there's more chances to move up because more guys got to stay solid in front of you.
But normally what happens in the flow of things is you can't forget about the guy that goes from 5th in the average that's not going to win the world title. All of a sudden he's 90 points on Saturday night, and he jumps up and moves up 3 spots in the average and pushes one of the other guys down. That's why I never pick up the pen to do the math, because I know you're going to do it.
I know it's just a figurative number that you threw out there, but as conservative
Spit it
as
out, Bobby.
thank you.
Yep.
My fast teeth in that the judges have been here, and
Thank you.
Yes.
I've been judging for 40 years. Okay, on a microphone, we all do it. Probably me and Donnie are the 2 worst, but. Damn it, this is the World Series. This is the best. This is the national finals. And I don't know what we're going to do to change an age-old system, but I cannot get excited about 78 points.
We can gripe about that over coffee, but that doesn't mean squat. What means is, are they getting them in the right places, and are they staying consistent?
How about that?
When I said the first performance, I'm thinking, what are they saving points for? The go-rounds are over every stinking night, But they started low, and really, really anal critical on any kind of mistakes on a spur ride, on a tilt, on off your rope. Whenever it got a spur over the neck, one jump, boom. Okay, they got them down there low. So, God, I hate defending judges, but they've actually kept. They've actually kept everybody in the right spot. They just been 3 points off average the whole damn rodeo.
I can't point to one place where I go, man, he should have won first and he should have won third. I can't think of 2 rides or 3 rides that I've seen in a round where I thought, so as you pointed out, the number one, whether it's 89 or 79, make sure the guy that's supposed to win first gets first place money. And then I'm off your butt.
That's the only reason I say that I would have never been able to have a card this long and been this successful in the PRCA if I'd have been a rough stock rider. Because I'd have killed somebody.
You can't stay in the PRCA if you beat the tar out of the judge.
I'm just lucky I'm in a timed event, because stopwatch is always pretty much right, and I would have killed probably a judge by now and been done.
I've actually seen Joe Beaver almost dislocate his neck a time or two over. When Joe gets mad, it is so good watching.
I always love to tell this story on Joe because I never tell
You ought to have him ride at a high lope, screaming, and the arena's big enough that you can't hear what he's saying to you and about you as he's coming to you. When I was a
And
stock
throwing his
contractor,
rope,
he's running towards me. I mean, his horse stops like he's roped his calf, and he gets off, and I mean, his nose is touching my nose. Mister, that will get your attention, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you something else.
ahead,
You
Boyd.
show me a good loser, and I'll show you somebody that doesn't win very often.
Yeah.
Okay, only when they're lucky. But here's my story. We're in Yuma, Colorado, and I always tell this story of Joe in Yuma because it makes him look like a hero, right? These 2 little boys come up and said, Mr. Beaver, can we have your autograph, please? Absolutely. I'll do more than that. Here's my calf rope. Here's my head rope. Guess how he roped that day in Yuma, Colorado? If they were golf clubs, they'd have been in the lake.
Hey, one day, right down here on the strip, and we're coming right down the strip in the limo, and I have just missed one, pretty much Cody Old style, and I'd missed 2 or 3 that year, and I had a couple ropes broke in for the finals, and I'd missed that night. We're driving right down the strip, headed back to the Mirage. And I opened up the window, and I took my rope can, and I dumped my ropes out going down right down Las Vegas Boulevard. And that driver was looking back there, and he said, "You meant to do that?" And I said, "Yep." My wife said, "What are you going to rope with tomorrow?" I said, "I'm going to go find whoever's been winning and getting their rope can, because those ropes ain't worth a shit."
It ain't you.
Wasn't me. Couldn't have been me.
I love a guy with a good attitude.
Yeah, and he knows in the proper place to put the adjectives in the English language.
I've seen Jack Nicklaus hit a shot and go, "Damn golf ball."
Yeah, I know. We're all talking when Cody was here, before Cody got here, after Cody got here, talking about Cody tonight. The stories you don't know in the last 4 or 5 years about Cody Old is really kind of cool. This year at Reno, he shows up. He'd been to 2 rodeos, had $2,800 won. This is the 18th day of June, okay? Now, he's got this weird, screwed up sense of balance of why he's doing this thing, but he also has a pleasure that goes with it. He's got his livestock and his buck and bull business. He's got 3 of the most beautiful kids you ever want to see in your life, and he is trying to stay home and do some other things. He shows up. This is the third year in a row that this has happened. He had $2,100, $2,600, and this year had $2,800 won. You got to think about something. Some of these guys are going to 100 rodeos or more, and Cody Ole has been here in the mix for all the years. But the last 3 years, he started at half point in the season, caught up to him when the season's over. Joe tell you, he just shuts it off, forgets about it.
I don't need to know when he started. All I have to do is look at him against the 15 baddest ropers in the world. From Tough Cooper to Shane Hanchey to you name them, baddest boys on the planet.
41
and he's
rodeos,
won
he said,
five or
get
four
here.
rounds here.
Yeah.
You
You know what else we talked about and people don't realize? You can't really be that mad at losing that gold buckle if you got 35 rodeos left on your.
Yeah,
you know,
I told J.W. Harris that.
He should be winning them, but just like last year, he missed one calf here, and it cost him. And this bad deal tonight is going to cost him. And if he goes to 20 more rodeos, as much money as he wins, they can't catch him regardless.
Well, he could have went to 20 more and won $500 at each of them. $10,000 might have made the difference.
But I kind of
if the dog hadn't have stopped to take a poop, he'd have caught the rabbit.
He
And if
was
I'm
we
just
hadn't-
saying he can't gripe too much.
No,
you know?
but look, I don't fault the man for wanting to be a dad, you know? No. And if you're not going to win a world title so you can be a dad, world champion dad.
That's good, and J.W. Harris, year before last, 2011, when Shane Proctor won the championship, and Shane won it, and J.W. didn't ride as good as he needed to at the NFR, and so that would have been 4, and then last year would have been 5, and maybe this year would have been coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that. But year before last, we're talking about his year, and he was really hurt in 2011. And I said, but you can't. I said, that's a good excuse, but it's still an excuse. I said, how many rodeos did you go to? And he said 92. I said, they allow 125. I said, so don't bitch.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And he didn't. But changes your perspective. You go and win. All you do is put yourself in position. Back in the day when the NFR didn't pay that much, you had to win a lot. So I went to 160 rodeos a year, and now you can go to 100 or 92. And then come here and ride good. But if you wait and this is where Cody Ole goes up on my scale. If you wait to come here to win the world championship, you better be double bad every night.
And he's double bad, yeah.
And it's going to be great watching tomorrow night. Outstanding. Give these guys a hand. And, Boyd, you're doing an outstanding job at the rodeo. Outstanding. Let's give some prizes away, shall we, gentlemen? We've got great prizes
Everybody
to
got
give
a
away
register.
from you.
We're going to roll a bucket.
We're so glad you came here this evening. The rules are simple for giving away these prizes. 1 prize per person, and we call the names quickly. So if we call your name and you don't stand up, then we're moving on. So we've got a lot of things to give away. We're going to start off with this Rodeo Historical Society. They have been good to us, and this is a gift bag that they have given each and every night. Donnie's going to boil a lot of entries in there tonight. Probably 3 people did it 40 times.
Okay,
apiece.
Kathy Cormack, Longview, Alberta.
She's coming right back there from the back.
All
Good
right.
job, Kathy.
All right, Rodeo Historical Society bag. A lot of good stuff. Thank you for
This
all
is
of our
from our
sponsors.
friends at 14 Hands. Holy cow. Vineyard.
Here she comes.
I'm thirsty.
Take a look at this, baby.
What?
Yeah. This comes with a nipple, Donnie, so you can have it. This is a Washington State Merlot.
That's funny,
From
right
our
there.
friends at 14 Hands Vineyards, and it takes 14 hands to hold this bad boy. Donnie, who's
Ken Bear, Whitehall, Montana. It's cold enough you might need a drink up there.
come right on over here, Ken. Man, that is. Have you got it?
This reminds me of that first bottle of Spinato wine, cost 99 cents. But it was in a bottle this big.
You silver-tongued devil.
Boot Barn.
We've got
How
a
about
couple.
Emmanuel Berry. Emmanuel Berry, you hear? Boot Barn.
Here, going once, Emmanuel. Yes,
I'll be
coming right
down
back.
there in a
Oh, he's
minute.
back here. He's
Right
coming.
back there. We've got one more, Donnie, for the Boot Barn, a gift certificate. If you'll draw out a name for that.
Alan Sparks, Alta.
Are you here, Alan? Yep, coming right back there in the back. Perfect. We have some gift
He
cards
didn't put
from
the state. I can't believe he's not proud of it.
gift cards from Wrangler. Joe, start off there if you would, please.
Okay, got a Wrangler gift certificate. Thanks, Joe. Jim Adamsick, Evergreen Park, Illinois. Coming, all right.
Very good.
You the hot man. You won something last night or night before.
Go ahead, Joe. Got one more, Donnie, if you'll pull
Okay,
it up.
Wrangler boot card.
Wrangler jean card. Yep.
Cord
Something.
something.
Earaband or
Where are they from? That'll help.
well, somewhere in California. I'm sorry. Is that you?
Carol?
Right
Is it
there.
Carol?
That name sure don't look like no Carol.
That is perfect. This is for you right there.
Well, he either didn't get out of the 3rd grade or he's a doctor.
It's a her.
It's a her.
It's a her.
We've
Doctor.
got one more Wrangler gift card, Joe, if you'll read that for
How
us.
about Rick
Mooch
Mooch?
from Utah.
Maruch?
Delta, Utah. Are you here? Yep,
Yeah,
coming
he is
right back
back
over
there.
there. Perfect. Some Justin Boots, the
Right here.
Bent
Justin
Rail
Boots.
collection, Joe.
Pull somebody out, Donnie.
All right, from Arizona, Leroy Peters. Leroy, you here?
That's a good
Hello,
old
Leroy. Is that you right there? Okay, come on up here.
American name there.
Leroy's
Oh, I
coming
got it.
right down the
I
middle.
got it.
Get see him?
These are for the Roper Gypsy
I know,
boots. I've
Gypsy,
got that
no.
certificate here. Let's see. Chandra. Can't be too many Chandras out there. Chandra,
McQuaid
is that right? Are you here, Chandra?
from Waco. That'd be Texas. Come on
Waco,
up here.
Texas. Yep, there she comes right
She
over
was
there.
afraid
Perfect.
I was going to say Waco.
The range. Donnie draws somebody to shoot. The range.
Did you all hear that?
Jeff Bob said, tell him what Waco stands for. We ain't coming out. David bit the dust. You know,
The range.
but he could have met Liberty Valance. All right. What do we
The
win?
range.
The range?
Go shoot.
All right, Troy Jody, Flagstaff, Arizona. He gets to shoot the 50 caliber and the
Oh,
Desert
yeah,
Eagle
he's coming.
right
Right
down
there.
the street. It's
Coming.
cool.
Resistol. Certificate
my
from
hat.
Boyd Gaming for Resistol, Donnie.
Okay, Ted Emmons, Ozark, Missouri. Ted Emmons, you here? Got a Resistol hat certificate.
Yes, sir. Coming right back there.
All right.
Here we go. Montana
Oh, there we go.
Silversmith.
Montana Silversmith, guys, do we have a shot of that or do we need to hold it up there?
Here, you want to look at this?
Oh, we've got it. Beautiful. Donnie, who is that?
All right, since you rolled this up, tighter than a hat band here. Frank Whitehead, Tucson, Arizona.
Frank,
Frank,
are
you here?
Yep, coming right back there. Resistol. Boyd, you got that vest back there? Beautiful. This is the Gold Coast vest. Yeah, I heard what he told.
Man, there is a lot of stuff. All right, got Dillon, Montana. Is Betty Jo Howells. Are you
Right there
Betty
she
Jo.
is.
All right.
Beautiful vest
This
right
is
there.
the best vest in Las Vegas. The Gold Coast vests, they fit better. I've got all of them.
All right, Donnie.
These are the best.
Draw
How many-
us out some of this three-wheeler.
How many wheels that have, Joe?
You can put a lot of dirty undies in this baby. It's got 3 wheels on it.
We got an extra wheel here, boy.
I've been here since December the 1st. I wish I could win the darn thing. Okay, Claudia Kalar, Olympia, Washington.
Are you here, Claudia? Right there.
Right there.
Perfect.
All right.
You will love this luggage.
That thing is great.
Boyd's going to grab this Fender guitar back here. It's been signed by George Strait. Perfect, Donnie. The guitar.
Already won.
Who's it going to?
Somebody that knows a little something about rodeo. Emmanuel Begay, Winslow, Arizona. Emmanuel, you here? You get the guitar, Emmanuel Begay, Winslow, Arizona. Where are you?
I believe right back there, Donnie, in
Right
the corner. Is that right? Is he here?
Nope.
Going once?
He might be at the bar. Too bad.
That
Wait,
him?
is that him?
That's
He's
you?
coming right there.
That you?
Right there. Coming
Better
our way.
give me a war whoop or something. Come on. There you go.
Right there, this Fender guitar. Jackie, who's playing upstairs tonight?
This
Brett
thing is.
Eldridge is playing. No kidding. That starts at, Gary, what time's he starting up? At 12 o'clock?
Put it in the box.
Right now, upstairs, the Buck and Ball. Gary LeFew will be up there, and he'll be the last one to leave, I guarantee you. Go up to the Buck and Ball. Enjoy yourself there this evening. Thank you for coming out to National Finals tonight.
Good night.
We will see you tomorrow night, night number 10. Thanks for coming this evening to the Gold Coast.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of National Finals tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go after the move. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Board Game, Riding for the Brand. Fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LeFew's legendary Buck and Ball. Live music and dancing with Las Vegas favorites Scotty Alexander and Tepper Still Union. Plus this weekend features Brett Elmer and Martin Lee. Beer and drink specials and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.